What is going on, everybody? Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to your Tuesday maintenance hype. It is me, After Sound. I guess flying solo. I guess I usually go solo on most of these streams anyway. We have had some fantastic surprise guests the last couple of weeks, though, which is always fun. Love the conversation. But today, you just get me, and I get to answer hopefully all of your questions, and we can dig into a lot of stuff after that town square. So I put out the 5 biggest takeaways from the town square. It was a list that was much larger than 5 takeaways, but I'm hoping I can find some time later today to really dig into more of just the thoughts that I had while listening to Matt, of which there were many. I think that the town hall really inspired confidence. I saw a lot of good, kind of positive vibes. I've had some conversations both last night and this morning, and so far so good, right? I'm glad Matt's taking the time. So Matt, we appreciate you if Matt watches this channel, but we know he doesn't. So inside joke with I think Darkest Night was on here last time. But yeah, so we're gonna have maintenance. I think the maintenance window is gonna be if it's not live now, will be shortly. And it doesn't sound like there's much happening. I think they even said that there might not even be any downtime. But I figure we could jump in to where the tokens are kind of at right now, and you can see vouchers creeping up a little bit. You can see DEC creeping up a little bit. SPS is still lagging behind, but that is to be expected. It is the reward token, so people just love to sell it. I love selling me some SPS. It feels so good. It feels so good to get some ice cream money. You know what I mean? So obviously I'd love to sell it at like 13.8 cents rather than 1.38 cents, but it is what it is. And I'm looking forward to seeing where things are at by the end of October, because it sounds like this month is going to be an exciting month. And I know, guys, like the fatigue of hype and FOMO is just to me at an all-time low, right? Since May and June, when we heard that June was going to be this amazing month, and then there's just this promise after promise that just wasn't delivered. We still don't have land yet, but I don't know why. Maybe I'm a sucker for pain. Maybe I'm whatever. But I'm believing a little bit more of the hype today. I'm believing a little bit more of the hype. Matt so far has been pretty good about communication. He did the town square last night. He put out the proposal yesterday for the team taking care of what it's trying to take care of. He says that we're going to get the information for Rebellion, like the in-depth information for Rebellion, how it's all going to work, within the next 2 weeks before that proposal is done or finished voting, or voting is finalized. And then Rebellion may start shortly after that. And then he gave a time frame for land, end of the month, which could be interesting, because he also said that Rebellion would probably be before that. So I'll jump into the calendar and we can start our date speculation as we normally do. But before we do that, let me say hello to all the lovely folks who are here today. We got Fusion Sound, Brian Wu, DJ, what is going on? Elistios, Kolsker, BB Omega. Man, it was such a pleasure to chat with you yesterday, my friend. I hope we get to do it more often, and I hope we get to do it with Sorry, I just got a text from Darkest Night. I was wanting to see if you wanted to jump on, but I don't think that that's going to be the case. I thought maybe I'd have a surprise for you. Sorry, I'm just reading what he said. Okay, I won't share it just in case. But yeah, so BB Omega, I'm sorry. It was fantastic chatting with you. I hope any of our future conversations get to be around a lot more exciting things that I think you and I are both somewhat aligned on, in terms of just a little bit of hope for where things are heading now. I hesitate to say that we've hit the bottom, because the bottom has a funny way of proving you wrong every time you call it. But I am excited for the things that are around the corner. And if land is something that just, is going to get pushed to 2024, as Darkest Night keeps saying, at least we'll have Rebellion. And from a DEC flywheel perspective, Rebellion is going to do way more. Let's just put it that way. Like, nobody's going to be utilizing land all the way through, in the sense that we're going to use 7.5 billion DEC. I think that is outrageous to think that we're going to get anywhere close to that within the first 6 months, maybe even the first year, until Land 2.0 comes out. But over the next year, I can see us selling potentially 2 million Rebellion packs. I know it's crazy, right? It's especially because I'm not planning on buying any, and I don't know if anybody here is planning on buying any, but there are people buying or planning on buying. So, that being said, we appreciate their sacrifice, and that's going to be 8 billion DEC, of which we only have 4.6 billion in existence, as confirmed. Okay, so BB Mega's here. Virus, there's been a lot going on. How have you been, dude? Want to know how you are feeling about all these things. Oh, that's my cat just playing. All right, Mystic Force, what's going on? Dice 12, Matt's making me more confident. What's going on, GFI Gaming? Good to see you here. BC, BB Mega, I couldn't agree more. Elistios says, Rebellion before land was not surprising, but knowing how prepared some of us are about land and knowing we are currently earning leftovers from owning land, where once live, this might go up 10x or more. Yeah, I'm gonna do a video for this because I was thinking about it this morning. I was actually on the phone with Tails and Darkest Night before jumping on here, just getting their thoughts and feedback on where things are at. And a thought crossed my mind of like, because we were talking about Rebellion before land specifically, and don't get me wrong, I want land before Rebellion. I haven't changed my stance on that, but I will give you the devil's advocate kind of perspective of why I don't think it's going to be a big deal, considering all of the things that Matt said yesterday. And I'll give you the quick version now, and I'll try to do a video with more thoughts later. But essentially, if Matt is not incentivizing people to buy a ton of packs and only buy the packs that they need, then we're not going to get this glut of cards on the market. And let's be real. If people are only buying the Rebellion cards that they need, that means that none of those Rebellion cards are going on land. There's no extra cards to go on land. So in a way, yes, it does add to card inflation, but it's not adding to relevant card inflation. And what I mean by that is, if people are buying Rebellion cards because they want to be competitive in Modern, it's not like those Rebellion cards are taking the place of any of the Alpha, Beta, Untamed, Chaos Legion cards that will be going on land. So that's the quick and dirty version. Icy Flow, what is going on? Brandon, good to see you here, man. I hope things are going well in your neck of the woods. Who says that? In your neck of the woods? That's a weather guy, right? Let's see how things are going in your neck of the woods. All right, so let's see. I haven't checked the math chat today, so let me put on like my goggles and my mask and everything, and then I'm gonna go into this very toxic environment and see what's happening. All right. Okay, so Farpatrod saying he shared a GameSpot thing about 20 minutes ago. Cool. Okay, this is not relevant. I'm going to be so sad after tonight. No more Ahsoka. Okay, so that's not relevant either. Where's the message? Okay, land is closer than Matt said, by the way. We haven't been closing tickets out while trying to get the last bit done, but close to the final build should be moving to QA later. Oh, well, that's interesting. All right, so then he says, so first release 1.5 is really version 0.15. We may have caused confusion with that, so all the previous releases and this one are the base blocks for everything else. 0.16 will come out very fast after, as well as other updates, since it won't be us writing the entire base Lego blocks again. Another downsize means, okay, so he's responding to, this will happen, they'll make another downsize in order to survive. Oh, okay, so he says another downsize means no more devs, so that won't happen. How many devs currently? And then he replies, less than you think. And then he says, I'm not sure about the creative side of things. I usually work with Nate and 2 others for land stuff. I lost all my devs, but picked up an investigator. We're rocking and knocking it all out, though. I really enjoyed that investigator episode on People's Guild. So shout out to People's Guild. That was a good one. Some were moved to Rebellion to get that out. But yeah, it's just 2 of us right now with the help of a database guru. Land will eventually... way down the road. Okay. Interesting. If this QA build passes, we'll push out a new one. Dude, what does that mean? If this QA build passes, we'll push out a new one. I thought we were getting close to the final build. What's going on? Oh, hold up. I just want to get a message. Shoot. Okay, never mind. So I actually, for the first time ever, you guys will appreciate this. Sorry, the reason I'm quiet is because for the first time ever, I actually DM'd Matt. I don't think he and I have ever spoken directly, but he just responded, and I was curious to see what he said. But I'll wait to see if he talks about it later. Okay, sorry to leave you guys with a little bit of a teaser. It's nothing serious. It's just I was just thanking him for taking the time to come on the town square, because I think it was really helpful for folks last night. Okay, so Alicio says, I'm glad to see Rebellion goes live, as I plan to get a full set at one point, but I'm buying nothing until they deliver what's on the shelves. Fair enough. I think that's a very honorable stance to put forth. So I don't see anything wrong with that. Supreme Victory Network, what's going on? Wibble wee, hello. DJ, less devs, can we spin that as now we have a small but focused team? DJ, dude, I love you, dude, but it's this. Come on, this is too much cope. I know sometimes we get to a point where, you know, they're doing too much and leaner and meaner. Nate likes to talk about, but at the end of the day, it's less resources. It's more stress on people. Like, let's be real about it. Poor guy Farpatron is like publicly complaining about it in a sense, right? On or in Mav chat. So I don't think we should try to spin it. I think it's just the reality that we live in, that unfortunately they had to downsize. And let's hope that land is kick-ass. Let's hope Rebellion sells out, and we can get Farpatron some help. We can get Matt some help, and we can get back to our 2021 glory with lessons learned, and not repeating the same mistakes. All right. Let's see. I'll probably just DCA into packs, although holding cards for airdrops definitely has me intrigued. Indeed, it could make those secondary packs. Oh man, there's a lot to think about here. Those secondary packs are going to get scooped up, especially if they fall too low. Because again, we don't know the full design, but if it does end up working like that, since they are changing the airdrop system, this is from GFI Gaming. I don't see a reason to buy packs versus singles unless there aren't any cards available. So this is kind of what I hope will be the case. Because again, I was talking about this with Darkest Night and Tails earlier today, where it's just like all you guys who open packs out there, y'all are a bunch of gambling addicts, right? You just gambling addicts is what it is. You just get a pack and you open it and you hope for the best. Now, here's the thing. That is going to be intensified like crazy as soon as we get to a point where people are only buying packs for the cards that they need, and therefore card scarcity, right? Card liquidity for Rebellion ends up being very short and very small or very low on the actual marketplace, which means, let's say there's a version of the Coral Lurker, which is awesome, but there's only like, there's only like 4 gold foil four gold foil ones out there. Well, people are going to go in and they're going to be like, well, there's one on the market selling for $3,000, and that's going to push up the estimated value. And I'll say this, right? Like, if that estimated value is $4.50 or $5 or $6, especially at the beginning of a set, I wouldn't be surprised to see a bunch of people opening packs and taking the shot, right? Because and even buying the packs off the actual store, just because people love a gamble, and they love to flip, not necessarily packs, but flip cards. Carlo87, what is going on? Anand, good to see you here. Virus, I have a crazy work week going on, so relying on you content creators to keep me unacceptable. You need to be here with us 110%. Al Roker, there we go. That's the guy. Does he do weather? He does do weather, right? It's got to be weather related. Thank you, Icy Flow. Because Rebellion is coming that fast, I'm not sure if my 1K plan or pack plan comes true. Thought I can accumulate DEC until December. Now I'm at 500 packs. All right, can I say something real quick? And this is not aimed at you, Mega Marcus, but one thing that I think people need to realize that about Rebellion. I don't think Rebellion is coming as early as like when we say Rebellion's coming early, I think that's because maybe it's my fault and a lot of the other content creators out there that we're talking about Rebellion should be pushed out to next year. But what we're not talking about is the fact that there was a promo mini set planned, and the only date that Aggie gave for it was September, meaning that at some point in time the thought was we could have a new promo mini set last month, and that was something that was going to provide the team some kind of revenue, right? Partnership revenue, new cards and all that. Obviously we haven't heard anything about that. Doesn't sound like it's happening, or at least it's not happening anytime soon. So the pivot to Rebellion to kind of take that place isn't surprising. I don't necessarily look at that and say, oh, well, Rebellion's coming early now, because the team always had a revenue generation plan in place. It's just that they had to pivot from the promo mini set to Rebellion. And with that comes a lot of very dynamic shifts in the overall ecosystem, right? First of all, they're going to print way more packs. Second of all, they are going to we're gonna shift out Untamed from Modern, so it's essentially changing the entire dynamic of the game. And then I think I don't even know what they had planned for like the promo mini set, although I'm sure some of that was probably like just rolled into Rebellion. But I wonder if like the new game mechanics were going to be a part of that, or maybe they were just going to be something with Rebellion where they decided, all right, well, Rebellion's not happening anytime, this promo mini set is not happening now, so let's switch over to Rebellion. Let's get these, game mechanic things as something exciting for people to jump into. But yeah, I say that it's not surprising that it's quote unquote early. It doesn't feel early to me, because genuinely I was expecting a pack sale. If it wasn't Rebellion, it was going to be the other one, right? At some point before the end of the year. And like I said, the only date that Aggie gave was it was going to come out in September, but that's when we thought that Land was going to come out in July and August, right? So it is what it is. Sorry, Mega Marcus, you won't have as much time to accumulate. Just as I said, says BB Mega, if Aggie says end of the month, that probably means mid next month. If Matt says end of the month, probably means mid-month tops. Look, okay, I don't think that, let's not assume any predictive powers here. I'm still going to be conservative. I'm going to say that I don't think Land is coming until November. And that's not me throwing shade. That's literally just, okay, the priority is very clearly Rebellion. So they're going to get Rebellion out. And I assume that's going to be sometime in October. If we're going to get the information within the next 2 weeks, keep in mind that's going to be mid-October, right? October 16th, 17th. So the presale isn't going to start then. I can see the presale starting. I forgot to pull my calendar out. But maybe the presale starts on the 24th or the 31st. But you get what I'm saying, right? If the presale starts on the 24th, are they really going to launch Land the week after? That'd be kind of insanity, wouldn't it? I mean, happy Halloween, right? That'd be pretty cool. But still. I mean, the Virus and Keys, I'm excited for After Dark Fest. It's potentially gonna be a really exciting time in Splinterlands if there's a lot happening there. If both Land, basically, if it comes out on the 24th, if Land or Rebellion comes out on the 24th and Land's coming out on the 31st, we're gonna be meeting up in the weekend that's sandwiched between two major releases. I just can't see Rebellion coming out any sooner than that. I mean, there is a chance that the Rebellion presale could go live in 2 weeks on the 17th, but keep in mind that the proposal for it right? Proposal on where that money would go, whether it's 50-50 split or the team gets 100%, that would not be decided until Monday the 16th. This is why I'm saying that the 17th really isn't an option. Maybe it could be, but I feel like Investigator would be like up super late on Monday night having to code in whatever the community decides. And that's not to say that he couldn't do it. I'm just saying, do we want him to do that? I'm really hoping that we get a great burn event for Chaos Legion. Matt commented on how he wanted Rebellion to instill confidence like Alpha, Beta, Untamed, leaving Chaos as the weak main set. Yeah, DJ, I think Chaos is the lost set. At this point, I have zero hope that it will ever be something that like truly retains or recovers its value. What I'm willing to concede is the fact that I think Chaos Legion will be the land set. And so if it comes out that Rebellion cards are not as advantageous on land, right? Maybe they don't give the same boost as Chaos Legion, or we just don't print as many Rebellion cards because pack sales and player base isn't as high. I would say that land will eventually be the thing that consumes Chaos Legion if Rebellion Forward doesn't give the same kind of benefits. And I wonder if there's going to be a change to the white paper. In fact, I almost hope that there will be a change to the white paper, that Chaos Legion gets a slight boost to land over Rebellion, because it'd be weird to give Rebellion like a 0.75 boost, right? Like almost like a negative boost. But if Untamed is at 2, I wouldn't mind like Chaos Legion being 1.5 or even 1.25, right? It's just a little something where when people are going to land and they see that there's no more chaos or no more alpha, beta, untamed cards available for land, right? And I'm talking about like 12 to 18 months out, when like 2.0 is out and we're really chugging forward with land. I would hope that would incentivize people to come in and not buy Rebellion cards for land, but actually fill it up with a bunch of the Chaos Legion cards. Virus, they keep saying they're about to push an update to the map server, and haven't done one yet. Some, including me, were waiting to test further until they. Yeah, I mean, look, I got to meet Farbertrod at Splinterfest. He's a cool dude, but I feel like he's falling into the same patterns of what frustrated the community before. He was on the town hall last week saying, there's a new build coming tomorrow, and then a second one coming by the end of the week, and he's obviously we haven't gotten any of those builds, and he's saying it's a QA issue. I would rather just don't say anything, because it sets people up, right? Like somebody even messaged me on Friday, and they're just like, "Hey, is the new like thing up? Because I wanted to go over it this weekend." And I was like, I don't even know, right? Like I haven't heard anything. I'm not following anything, and here's somebody that wanted to like spend their weekend playing around with the map test server, and it's like, okay, well now you've set this person up to be disappointed, which sucks. Crazy to hear Matt say 5 to 6 month current runway if nothing sells from Rebellion. Aggie sure glazed it and made it look like we were fine. Oh, okay. So I want to try to clear some things up with this. And Matt actually said it in the last town hall, right? They look at runway completely differently. Matt was saying that he assumes like Bitcoin goes to zero, whatever the case is. And when he said 5 to 6 months, he was talking specifically about cash on hand. But the company does own reserves in crypto. So I'm assuming when Aggie was talking about it, it's not that he was glazing it over, but he just included different assets as part of the runway, whereas Matt, who is much more conservative, does not include those, right? So, because if you remember, Aggie kept on saying, if we just stay choppy, right? And staying choppy doesn't matter, right? Volatility doesn't matter for cash, right? So the reason he's saying stay choppy is because he was including probably some kind of crypto, and he would mainly talk about Bitcoin, right? So as long as Bitcoin doesn't nuke down to 10K, we don't have to like worry about XYZ. But whether it was him, the board, or Matt, or whoever it was, a much more conservative approach is what was decided upon. And now Matt is sharing that 5 to 6 month runway of, hey, this is the cash on hand. And if Rebellion absolutely flops and everybody just looks at the sale page but doesn't click buy, then we have 5 to 6 months of runway, which again isn't surprising considering that would get us to Q2. We'll call it Q2 of 2024. And if Aggie was saying that we had until the end of 2024. Well, it kind of makes sense that they were holding X amount on cash and then a little bit more than X in other cryptos that would get them the remaining 9 months of next year. Rubinsky, what's going on? Good to see you here. Pre-sale. Okay, so DJ says pre-sale for Rebellion is coming at the end of October. I wouldn't be surprised if the full Rebellion set didn't launch until December, January. Oh, that would be disappointing. Well, actually, I think they have to get Rebellion out by the end of the year. Once again, I'm thinking about this from a parallel to Chaos Legion. They started the pre-sale mid-October. It ran for a month, and then they had like a couple of weeks off, and it was like early December, within the first week of December, that they launched Chaos Legion. Like, it was playable in game. So I mean, you could be right. If they're gonna launch the pre-sale at some point in October, and it does go for 1 month, I think it makes sense that December is a likely date. I hope it doesn't get pushed to January. In fact, I hope it gets pushed up to November. That'd be fantastic. But here's the thing. Will they parallel it completely, or mirror it completely, I should say? For Chaos, they had the pre-sale, and then they had that weird phase 2 sale that nobody seemed to like. I wonder if they skip that this time. In fact, I kind of hope that they do. I wonder if that, a lot of people look at that and say that it killed a lot of momentum. And having that happen delayed the general sale from starting like a month in, or for an entire month. And that timeline was super sensitive because Fed did their pivot on interest rates in November, right? So any rational investor, and I don't think any of us here were rational investors at the time, could see that the pivot happened and that, here's the end of the bull run, right? Everything tops out in November. Here's the pivot. They're saying they're going to raise interest rates, like bear market confirmed. Here we go, down we go. Had that pre-sale or the general sale started in mid-December, there might have still been a lot of people with higher valued SPS at that time that would have bought even more packs. Could have made things interesting. I don't think it would have saved anything. In the long run, it might not have changed too much outside of the fact that we probably have more packs. But in a way, I don't think we would have. I think we still would have ended up in the same spot. But maybe many other people wouldn't have left the game. I don't know. It's hard to say. We're Monday morning quarterbacking here on a Tuesday. All right, so Elistio says, it's fascinating to see how much proposal there is right now, considering the team don't have delivery skill to finish what's in the pipeline. So why try creating more stuff on the plate? I think most of them are DAO assets or DAO holding related, Elistios. I think two of them were like DAO holding related, right? But I don't disagree with you. I think part of the reason that we didn't see proposals for a while is because, especially through like the entire month of September, is because like the team hadn't even finished land yet. So it's like, to your point, why would anybody put more stuff on the plate when they can't even finish what they're trying to work on? All right. Okay, cool. Now my phone's got enough battery, so I think we'll be all right. All right, let me get to the next question. Oh, Icy Flow says, I asked Aggie about the promo set. He said it would have been a 50-50 split with a partner, so canceling that and partnering with the DAO is better. Oh, interesting. Okay. So you've talked to Aggie since he left? I'm curious to see how he's doing. I hope he's all right. Rubensky says, I didn't realize it cost 200,000 DEC to do it. It only costs 100,000. Unless you mess up and then have to do it twice. Steve, what's happening, man? Good to see you here. Thanks for stopping by. Love the chat yesterday with Level Up Life on your channel. Guys, make sure you go check that out. Alicio says, Land 2024. Yep, you're going to be on the same page as Darkest Night. So what are Darkest Night's thoughts on the town square? Is he still going to sell his assets? I really don't want to. Look, I had a good conversation with him, and then he actually just texted me. I don't like speaking for him. I don't like speaking for him. I will say that the nature of our conversation was um, I want to be very delicate about this. I was trying to, again, not convince him to stay, because he's a grown-ass man and he can make his own decisions, and I want to support him as a friend if he wants to do other things. But one of the ways in which, like, I view Splinterlands assets. So let me give you the parallel for myself, for example. If I were to sell out today, sure, could I, like, is there an opportunity cost? Could I put that money elsewhere? Yes, I could, right? And I think that's part of the reason that we've seen a lot of people leave, and including, Darkest Knight. He was kind of stating that as part of, like, his reason, like the opportunity cost. For me, I recognize that there's an opportunity cost there. But what I've been trying to convey to him is, like, to kind of, like, leave enough in the game where he still has exposure, because at least, for example, like, at this point in my life, if I lose everything, it'll suck, but it's not going to, basically, if I lose everything, it sucks. If I sell everything now, it doesn't change my life. But if I hold on and Matt is able to be effective as CEO and implement all the things in 3, 6, 12 months, combine that with a potential bull run, it could be life-changing. And so therefore the risk to reward ratio is so skewed in one direction, that, like, selling now and trying to find a different place, I don't know, it doesn't make as much sense. And that's something that I think he's considering now as well. Now here's the thing, at the end of the day, right? Like, I talked to Keys, and Keys talked about selling his node as well. And here's the thing, right? Like, I'm actually, I don't know if I was the one that convinced him. I think he did it on his own, but we had a lot of conversations where I was like, I was looking at nodes specifically, and I was like, all right, I'm down big on nodes and it sucks. But what are the chances that a node is going to do a 10x versus, I know if I just take my money and run and put it into Bitcoin, for example. Again, I'm a Bitcoin maxi, so I'm just going to put that out there. I know eventually, in the long run, on a long enough time frame, that Bitcoin will do a 10x, right? I'm fairly confident of that. Whereas I can't say the same about Splinterlands nodes or Splinterlands assets in general, right? I mean, we're talking about a 5-6 month runway here. There could be no Splinterlands by the middle of 2024. Sorry, just saying it, right? So part of it was like, okay, do I make that calculated bet of, all right, I'm willing to take the 10x, guaranteed 10x in the long run, or do I stick around for a little bit and see if there could be some kind of recuperation of assets, or even, mooning of assets in some way? So I get why they sold their nodes. If anything, like, that's the one thing that I would have considered too. But yeah, I don't know. At this point, part of me is just like, sit tight, is what I'm telling myself. Okay. So Samuel Law, another new name here. Samuel, I gotta ask, are you new to the channel? Are you new to the game? Or are you new to the live streams? It's good to have you here. And I agree, 250,000 is a good deal for the DAO. In fact, it's almost too good to be true. I wonder what the cost will be for future sets. Pre-sale starts Halloween. In a way, I hope it doesn't, Steve, because then, like, land truly is coming in November, and we have to wait like an entire month of, like, nothing happening. BBMX says, Matt is the most conservative person in the team as far as I know. So yeah, if he feels like it'll come around mid-October, it makes sense to go, say, end of the month, just to be safe. Fair enough. Man, I wanted to come to that. Sorry, I just can't do it. No worries, man. We were trying to flip around weekends, and it's not we'll try. You know what? Actually, Steve, okay, so I want to try and do one on the West Coast. I'll meet up with you and BB Omega. I'm mapping out, like, I've been really quiet on, like, a lot of the music projects that I've had, but I have a producer out there that I work with that I haven't seen since, like, pre-COVID, and I'm trying to get it so that I can line up going out there to work with him on some projects. And now that I know some people on the West Coast, specifically SoCal, if I'm able to make a trip out there, I think what I'll try to do is plan for some kind of Splinterlands meetup as well. So Icy Flow says, I think Darkest Night will come back. Matt is making this a player's game, not an investor's project, just like Darkest Night wants. Icy Flow, I don't disagree with you on the Darkest Night thing. I think, we'll see if he sticks around. But Matt is very much more investing mindset, in my opinion. Still sad y'all meeting on a weekend. We had plans. Wait, what plans did we have? Sorry, did I cancel on something else? I still wish we were loaning the 250K to Splones, Matt. I would prefer Matt to have 100% Rebellion funds. I don't think the DAO has shown consistency that it will use those funds well. Yeah, if anything, the DAO has shown that it's always going to act in its own self-interest, and it can't make any decisions. It can't decide on anything. So hopefully that money just gets locked up there for a long time. My big concern is, what is the DAO going to do with all this DEC? That is a major source of concern for me. I think a radical idea that I would be totally okay with is it should just burn it. It should just burn it. That should never make its way out. If it does, the only way in which I think it makes sense is doing OTC deals with Splinterlands, the company, in case Splinterlands, the company, needs money for market transactions, right? Credit to market or credit to DEC transactions. Because then, Splinterlands is not selling the DEC. They are just converting it on the back end. So that doesn't apply any sell pressure, and Splinterlands can take whatever money they were going to go buy DEC with anyway, and do that. But as a DAO, as SPS token holders, we'd have to vote on that, and that could be icky. A lot of money will go back to the company when the DAO hires them for the next mini set. Yep. But see, here's the thing: are we going to pay in DEC, and then what's the team going to do with $1 million worth of DEC? DJ, I think, so Alicio says, DJ, I think doing that, make sure that the DAO has buying power in case SL getting gutter in order to use that money to hire another third-party safe Splinterlands. You know what's interesting, Alicios? Okay, let's get really bearish here for a second. Let's say in 6 months, Splinterlands is not able to find their funding or whatever the case is, but the DAO has a good amount of funds in it. Yes, we need to keep the servers on, we need to keep whatever, but what if we have to get to a point where Splinterlands, the company, no longer exists, but Matt ends up being like a contractor for the DAO and is able to run everything with just him, Cryptomancer, and Nate. Or he starts a new company that essentially forks the Splinterlands game, right? Keeps everybody's assets somewhat intact, and then uses the DAO funds to kind of start that new thing. Is that ideal? No, not necessarily. I don't know why the DAO wouldn't just bail out Splinterlands at that point, but I'm just trying to think outside the box here as to what, another third party could potentially look like. I also think that there's an opportunity here for other games to come in and be part of the ecosystem now that the DAO has some buying power. I know a lot of whales may not go for it, so therefore you're going to have to come in with a very solid game plan on how you're going to generate revenue. But if Virus is still here, I think that there's a way to create a I think there's a way to create the Flappy Furious chicken that eats up and burns a ton of DEC or something like that, while still paying devs out with some interesting stuff. Ooh, is it gonna rain? That sounded very loud. That was either a earthquake. Oh no, it's raining. Okay. All right, guys. Well, if my internet or power kicks out, then you know why. I had an issue with this last time there was a major thunderstorm. All right. Jesus, Steve, I can see us fudging that up too. Failing a proposal for us to hire the company to make the next set, or how we hire them and how much. The DAO is controlled by a few. Yep. All right. The Matt Ag discourse feels bipolar. Got both extremes. Yep. Gregory Levenfield, what's happening? Rift Summoner, I'm hyped for Rebellion. Me too. I do feel like we're coping, but still, I guess I'm hyped for Rebellion. SL 2023 in one word: disappointment. It's hard to disagree. Rift Summoner, you think we will get Rebellion in 2 weeks? I don't. I just laid out the timeline in my head, and I really doubt that we're going to see it on October 17th. I think the earliest we could see it. Whoa, you guys hear that? It's a rumble. It's not my tummy. Um, I could see it coming out on the 24th. The 17th just seems like it's too soon. Rift Summoner, people dump cards. I buy cheap Rebellion cards, then maybe a week later land comes out to scoop up the cards that send my cards asset, which I just bought on Bull Run. Let's hope it works out that way. Cash General Sale was like January 17th. Yep, I remember it was like December 7th, I think, that it launched, and then General Sale was not for a little while beyond that. All right, so Alicios, what I mean with a proposal is that either those or people on every chat, everyone has suggestions and idea of what we should do next, while there's still plenty to do right now. Fair enough. Well, I mean, in a way, like, I think it's good that Matt came down and scaled down the vision, right? Hopefully we can expand it again in the future, because that's what I bought into. But right now we just need to get the current things done. That was a month or two ago. I talked to him about that. Okay. So not with the current news. Has Aggie said anything? I don't think I've seen him talk at all at all in either Discord outside of like the office hours he did for GLS. For me, I don't plan to sell out because things are not different really. We just know more, but land needs to be out by the end of the month, or I might need to rethink it. Ooh, Steve are giving some ultimatums. I like it. I did the same as Keys and sold one node to get back more SPS that input into it. Fair enough. I mean, what's that trade right now? Nodes to SPS has got to be pretty good. SPS is in the freaking gutter. Blockchain product. I'm a Bitcoin maxi too. SPL gets me more. This is why, like, towards the end of the bull run last time around, I was just like looking at all these projects failing, and I was like, all right, I'm glad I'm a Bitcoin maxi. And for me, Splinterlands is just a game. Yeah, I put some assets into it. Thankfully, I didn't sell like Bitcoin for it. I wish I had bought Bitcoin with with those assets instead. But Splinterlands has been good to me in many ways. So I've enjoyed the ride. But I'm still holding one node. Very cool. Alicios, by the way, been giving Decrypt a try. I feel like a dead game, but we'll see how it goes. It might be early still. There's a single dev. It's very slow, and I'm enjoying it for what it is, Alicios, but I probably spend, I don't know, a couple minutes a day at max, sometimes not even some days. Rubensky, are you in LA too? Because Long Beach is my favorite spot. In fact, when I was living there, when I was living in LA, I was looking at a ton of apartments in Long Beach. This was before COVID hit, because I was living in downtown LA, and I really wanted to move to Long Beach for like year 2, which didn't end up materializing because of the pandemic. But I got a couple cousins who live down in Long Beach, and every time I go visit them, I love it. So Steve, I won't vote for them to buy DEC because I don't want to be tempted to sell it. Okay. Alicios, an idea of what to do with DEC: buy the overflow of cheap cards, burn them, repeat until card flow is clear. Yeah, but see, this is like where we're just sacrificing one asset for another. We're selling DEC. Are we selling DEC? Maybe not. But we're taking it, we're pushing it back out of circulation. We're not necessarily selling it. Ooh, this could be interesting, Alicios. I like it. I mean, I like it in theory. I don't think I like it in execution, because ultimately, like, I don't care. I'm sorry, guys. I just don't care about cards. Like, cards are just not an asset class worth investing into for me. So there's no point for the DAO to sacrifice, in this case, SPS, the flywheel, for it. It's an interesting thought, but I would rather we have 50 million Venari Heatsmiths, but SPS goes to $4. I don't want to do the opposite of that, where we sacrifice burning the DEC to burn cards instead, right? We put the DEC back out in circulation, buy these cards. I could give two shits about a Venari Heatsmith ever getting above a penny, but I do want to see SPS go to the freaking moon. So it's an interesting idea that I will give you credit on this, Alicios. It doesn't involve selling DEC, so it wouldn't put downward pressure, but it does put it back out in circulation, and then we would have to either find a way to utilize it or burn it. Interesting thought. Hey, you guys are smart. I like it. So if the DAO buys DEC, then that will create a lot of exit liquidity opportunity for a lot of people. Yeah, I mean, Matt was very much against the DAO holding Splinterland's assets, which is something I don't know that I agree with, but I actually get where he's coming from. So maybe my thinking is going to shift on this. All right, Baby Omega, let's not get really bearish, por favor. Oh, wait, I'm really behind on chat, aren't I? No, I'm only 8 minutes. Icy Flow, Splinterlands is here to stay. I'm still bullish. Kitty at 169, says Alex. Absalom, give us alpha on Rebellion new feature. Sorry, I can't. I don't want to get in trouble here. I mean, Matt, I feel like Matt should have just done it yesterday. You guys are going to hear about it soon. Like, it's within 2 weeks. And again, I don't even know if the stuff that I know is completely up to date. I just saw stuff a while ago. I'm still bullish long-term as long as something is done to fix the delivery issue and that we get up to date and start having major updates every 3 to 6 months. Otherwise, says Alicius. Yeah. And here's the thing, right? Like, and again, sorry to harp on Farbertrot a bit. I think the dude is great. He's an absolute beast of a coder and he works hard. I will give him that. I mean, he's like nights and weekends. I just see him putting in time, not on Mav chat, but like internally in like the internal team chat. I'll see him just talking there and announcing like different builds and whatever. So I just feel like the last remnant of like the old era way of doing things was like, constantly putting out these promises. And so I don't know. I just hope that what it's doing is it's making me feel less confident every time we don't get that delivery. So for example, Farbertrot today said, land is much closer than people think. And 1.6 or 0.16, I think is what he's calling it. 0.16 is going to be very shortly afterwards. So now I don't know what very shortly means anymore, right? Because we've heard about land coming out very shortly for the last 3 months. And again, I'm not trying to hate on him. I'm just saying, like, just don't give us the time frames. Like at this point, like I don't even want them because it puts these things in my head. I'll say the same thing to Matt, right? And I said it in the video yesterday. Like, don't tell us land's going to come out by the end of the month. Like at this point, I'm not trying to be obnoxious about it and say like, oh, land 2024. Like, yes, I know that I'm saying it, but I'm not trying to actually be obnoxious about it in the sense that I believe land 2024. I mean, I hope it doesn't end up being 2024. But I'd rather just not think about it. Give us exciting things to think about. We know that land's being worked on. Keep us updated with where the bugs are at, right? I think Aggie's analogy is actually perfect. So the whole LA traffic thing where don't tell us how much time it's going to take. Tell us how many bugs there are left. Do that on a weekly basis or however often you feel is necessary. Let us know that you're working towards these things and we'll be able to see that progress happen. And to me, that's good enough, right? I don't need a time frame. I know I'll probably still cave and I'll probably still ask like, how much time is 2 bugs or 3 bugs? But at the end of the day, I think it would go a long way to not setting the same kind of precedent that they did previously. Virus. I was just talking to someone about this a couple days ago. I don't think it's feasible to fork the game without Splinterlands releasing their code open source. It would cost a ton to reproduce SPL. Fair enough. Geeked Out Basketball. What's going on, man? Good to see you here. I'm feeling optimistic with Matt's focus and plan. Am I naive? 100%. But you know what? We all are. So you're in the right place. Gregor Lemfield, I'm very hyped for Rebellion. No more Kitty and Jotun in Modern. Agreed. I keep running into Jotun in Gold. Which is interesting because I'm like, I wonder if they're down here because they can't compete in Diamond anymore. Even if they only had like a level 3 Jotun or a level 3 Kitty, you'd probably still be able to get away with a lot of wins in like Diamond 3, Diamond 2. But no more bots, no more battle helpers. DJ's feeling optimistic too. Rift Summer, I think Rebellion should come before land scoops everything to send our card assets to the moon. I still feel the other way, but like I said, I'm coming around to it. I'm trying to live in reality here. Virus, I wonder how SPL would feel if someone built a game and just decided to use DEC SPO's crypto in it, poker or some other. Dude, this is what I'm saying. It can be done. We can do that. Now, the only problem with somebody building a game like this is the fact that then you rely on Splinterlands, the company. If Splinterlands dies, your game will die too. I mean, I guess you could try to fork it out into something else, but at the same time, I think what's awesome about this is that you live and die. You live and die with the ecosystem and the company. So if the company goes down, then you're screwed. But you don't have to go out there and set up utility for your tokens. You can choose to kind of piggyback off of Splinterland's success and just be a part of this. Now, I'm gonna like level this up for a second, right? Because again, Bitcoin maxing me, big thinker me. Eventually, all the shit's gonna end up being on Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin Lightning is amazing. They're gonna do a ton of layer 2, layer 3 stuff on there. So there's already games being built on Bitcoin. So what I'm trying to say by that is the fact that Bitcoin's always going to have this utility. There's always going to be Bitcoin maxes out there that will value it at something, and people will always want more of it as we go along. So people building on Bitcoin, it makes sense. Now you could kind of scale that down and do the same thing with Splinterlands. I don't think that has the same kind of confidence that people have in Bitcoin, but you could do the same thing where it's just like, well, there will always be utility for DEC and SPS. Even if my game does nothing, there's another external force out there, right? Which is the Splinterlands company and the Splinterlands ecosystem that will give utility to Bitcoin, to SPS and DEC. And I can just tap into that from kind of like an open decentralized perspective. And this is why I say like the whole Bitcoin side of it is perfect in my opinion, where it's like there's always going to be there's always going to be utility for Bitcoin. There's always going to be somebody that wants it, and infinity over 21 million. But the same thing can be done on a much smaller scale. And this is why I'm thinking like your game of Flappy Furious Chicken, or even something as simple as poker, it doesn't need to be like, I wouldn't put a ton of time into making like this masterpiece of a game. I think something simple like an arcade style game could go a long way towards adding value to the ecosystem without putting too much work in, if that makes sense. And again, I've thought about this, and Virus, like I'm saying this out loud because I want somebody to do it. Like steal the idea and just do it because I think it's going to add value. Or like what's funny? I've been talking to ChatGPT a lot, and I have zero coding experience, but if I could do this and if ChatGPT can help me do it, I would totally do it. I would totally do like an Angry Birds or that Angry, what was it? Angry Scavos with Darkest Night, right? Like where you just take a bunch of the Scavo cards and like you use them as whatever. But you could build something. It doesn't even need to be on chain, right? But the currency transactions obviously would still be there. Again, I'm not technically literate enough to understand how all of this would work. I'm just saying that the opportunity is there. So whether it's poker or some non-related game or Angry Birds or Flappy Furious Chicken, I just think that there's something there. At least with DEC and SPS, or specifically with DEC, right? You can help add value and utility to DEC, which will eventually all make its way back into SPS. Gregory Levenfield, agree. Also, no more Almo, which is an instant L when I see my opponent. Yeah, Almo's tough to get past. The Chuny, what's going on? Thought the town square last night was great. Finally getting clear, transparent answers from Yaba, especially when it comes to runway funding needs. Chuny, I agree. It was good. Aggie is tweeting Xing, but nothing about Splinterlands. I think I did see a couple of these things there. He's got an interesting personality on X. That way does paper hands will sell and miss out the initial pump, so only people who are hardcore gamers or diamond hand holders get the benefit from Rebellion coming first before land. Agreed. Virus, free utility with coin you have 100% control of. They would love that. I sold all my vouchers. Oh, Alex, welcome to the club, man. Welcome to the club. I'm so glad you finally caved. We've been waiting for you with open arms. But I think you sold at the wrong time, man. You sold when it was like 2.3 cents or something like that. And now we have Rebellion coming out right around the corner. All right, so DJ says, Virus would love to see a poker gambling game with DEC that had a rake and burn feature in it. How easy is it to make a poker? I'm going to spend the rest of the day like chatting with ChatGPT to see how I can design a game. So when is the LA meetup? It would probably be next year. Early next year would be my guess, BB Omega. I just have a lot going on between now and the end of the year. I would not be able to sneak it in December, which would probably be the only month. But I want to make it happen. And if things, are in a better place, I'd love to just travel more to other parts of the country, meet up with people. Is there anybody here that's in Houston or Texas? Because that's something I can easily organize on a weekend. All right, so Chuny, if Yaba gets the funding, he seems confident about that. Will get us 12 months further down the road. In a year, we will know if SPL will last 2 years after that. Yeah, to me, I feel like he's approaching Rebellion with a very scarcity mindset, right? He's being, or conservative mindset is probably a better way to put it. He's thinking that as long as they can break even, make it to end of 2024 without tapping into their crypto reserves, they come out with a new set then, and hopefully market's in a better place. This is just my guess. He didn't say that. This is just my guess. Definitely excited for Rebellion cards. New cards to play the game with. Always so good. Always pushing Kitty to Wild is a bonus. Yes, or also pushing Kitty to Wild. Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, as a gamer, I'm looking forward to all the new metas, all the new combos and things like that. I'm excited for it. Is it the perfect time for Rebellion to come out? I think you can make an argument either way, but the gamer part of me is just like, ooh, finally something new. Seaver, each time I think about a new game idea to use our assets, the issue I get is trying to figure out how to reward you for playing Splinter Forge. Tried, but it didn't work. Splinter Forge made its own token though, and then they had to go and defend their token. Whereas this time around, I don't think you'd have to. Here's the problem with a bunch of, I'm sorry, this is the Bitcoin Maxime coming out, right? Every game goes out there and thinks that they just need to launch their own token. And a lot of them do that because it's a free way to get rich, right? You can just print this token out of thin air, promise people some kind of utility for it in the future, and then sell it. Splinterlands did the same thing. Now, here's the difference though. Splinterlands has in the white paper an allocation for the team, right? There's several million SPS, I think, set aside for them on a monthly basis that is allocated for the team. Now, from a legal perspective, they probably did the very safe thing, maybe the right thing, where because of all the security issues and SEC and all that, they did not take that, right? But a lot of people going back to the 2017 ICOs, they 100% took that, dumped it on the market, and then disappeared. This is why crypto is full of scams, as all of our grandparents say, right? So the thing is, if you have a good game and you have a solid like business model, you should be able to earn money without having to print it out of thin air, right? Like then you're just acting like every government in the world that can't figure out their own balance sheet. So I agree with where you're coming from. Again, I don't want to comment on Splinter Forge. I like what they did. They tried to build something in the same ecosystem. I haven't played it as much, so I'm just going to leave it there. But they did make their own token rather than trying to rely on SPS and DEC specifically. Here's what I'm trying to get at, right? Like, and I'll give the, sorry, Virus, I'm not trying to give the thing away. I mean, not that we and I talked about it. I'm trying. If you guys haven't picked up on it yet, I'm trying to convince Virus to do this. Like, just publicly trying to convince him to do this. If you just go in and you make a simple game like, what's that called? Flappy Furious Chicken, you can find ways to do it in which it can be a value add to the ecosystem and a value add to him, right? And I haven't thought through all of the implications of this quite yet, but even if you were to do it just like with the live streams that we do here, where the game is only live on like Sundays when we get together for tournaments or something, everybody goes in and you pay like a DEC to go and see what your best score is, right? And on a weekly basis, we give out prizes to the leaderboards. But every time you go in, you have to pay one DEC, of which half is burned and the other half goes to Virus as a payment. Now, is one DEC going to be enough to cover whatever? I have no idea. I haven't jumped into the numbers, but you get my point there. It could be one DEC, it could be 10 DEC, but we're all going in and trying to essentially win the leaderboard. Now, you could do this without even finding a way to without even finding a necessary like budget for rewards. Just think about it almost like the Great Burning style, but it's not random chance. It's going to come down to your ability. So maybe you don't split it half and half, where half the DEC gets burned and half of it gets. I mean, screw it. Maybe you don't give a shit about Splinterlands economy, right? You're just there to like piggyback off there. That's totally fine. Act in your own self-interest. So now, Virus comes in and he charges 1 DEC for everybody to play this game. At the end of it, however much DEC is collected, he gets half to cover his bills and to make him, a super rich millionaire, and the other half goes towards a split between the top people on the leaderboard. So now there's no initial funding needed for any other prizes. What you could do is maybe try to raise capital and you buy some SPS and you stake it, or you buy some Hive and you power it up. And so now you have maybe this like flow of capital coming in from the inflation and rewards of Hive and SPS, or maybe you invest into like a basket of tokens on the Hive ecosystem. Either way, stuff that's like revenue generating, right? Maybe you go into like liquidity pools or whatever. Either way, the point is that this is something that could be self-sustaining, self-revenue generating. You don't need to launch a token for it. You just need a very simple game that people will come in and play. And it doesn't need to be something that's super crazy, right? It could be something as simple as like Flappy Furious Chicken, where we're all there and we jump in on stream on Sundays or Tuesday, whatever day it is, and we're all just talking shit to each other, like, look at this, I was able to get one more level past you, or something like that. Again, it's small, it's for the community, it's just something fun that ends up being a value add. I don't know the economics behind it, so I'm going to leave it there. But my point is that it is possible without having to print your own token. Rift Summoner says Splinterforge is boring. No comment. Again, I applaud what Splinterforge is trying to do. I just never got into the game. So I want cards to be the best investment in the game. Yeah, I don't see that happening, Icyflow, but I hope it happens for your sake. I have nothing against cards. I just don't see them being, it's just an infinitely inflationary asset class. So Stever says a game that could be fun but is silly would be a PvE like FF Tactics that used our cards, but I bet that is hard to code. Half per sound. Hey guys, seriously, Rebellion will be in 2 weeks. I don't know about 2 weeks, but we're going to get more info about Rebellion in the next 2 weeks. That is guaranteed, but I don't know when the pre-sale will actually launch. So Alicia says, there's so many times they can cry wolf until we lose trust and interest. Agreed. Radagaskar Brown, what's going on? I really like the idea of burning unused cards for unsold packs. It would help the ecosystem and add a lot of confidence to the Rebellion sale. I'm worried about future reward card inflation. I don't know if I talked about this yesterday, but similarly related to this, Radagaster, sorry. I would love to see the ability to burn current reward cards or current any cards to unlock the equivalent BCX of the Soulbound reward cards. That way we'll never have an inflation of Soulbound reward cards, because you'll always have to be burning. We'll never have an inflation of reward cards because you'll always have to be burning a previous card for it. Now, we could get that inflation, but then we end up burning maybe not just reward cards, but maybe some of the Chaos Legion cards, and then in the future, maybe some of the Rebellion cards that people don't want. To me, that is the best way to get rid of all the hardy stonefishes of the world. Hardy stonefishes, the Gargoyle Lions, and whatever like the 1 penny card for Rebellion is going to be. Even Riftwatchers has a 3-cent card. All right, Blaze Coast, what's going on? Good to see you here. RFC, what's the current hype? I don't know, man. We're just hanging out and talking about the town square. L4, howdy people. Seeing lots of juicy cards on the market, all gearing up for Rebellion, I presume. I suppose so. Good to see you here. I like that idea of Angry Bird Fuse Splinterlands card as alternative gameplay. Guys, it could be something as simple as just like a speed run, right? I see ads like on mobile all the time for that. So Angry Bird, Flappy Chicken, or Flappy, was it Flappy Bird, right? Some kind of speed run thing. I don't know how much it takes to code one of those, but I'll tell you this: if I'm giving you guys the head start, because if I'm able to figure this out once things calm down for me in the next couple of months, I might just go into it. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I might just try to figure it out. I've been selling vouchers since they were first given to me, just like SPS. You sell all your SPS too? I sell my vouchers, so yeah. I don't blame you. Yeah, I don't care. I don't want to buy Rebellion packs. I'm just going to buy SPS at this point. Fair enough. Look up GDevelop if you want to design a game. Thank you for that. Look at that. Timer's counting down now. Thank you all for Rift Summoner. I just do the opposite from what majority will do. That's how you get ahead of the curve here in Splinterlands. Brian Wu. I just bought some vouchers. Very nice. Maybe I got mine. So I will tell you this, Alex. I've stopped selling vouchers. So I usually come in and do a lot of my not rebalancing, but just take care of like tokenomic stuff on Mondays. And I didn't sell this Monday because it sounds like we're going to get Rebellion stuff soon. So I'll sell when Rebellion comes out. But I think we're going to get higher voucher value than 2.5 cents. Rift Summoner, I don't think a lot of people will buy Rebellion. So for those that have Rebellion cards, it could be rarer than Alpha cards. So the rentals Rebellions will be through the roof. I genuinely think Rebellion will be something similar to Rift Watchers, but on a much larger scale, because Chaos Legion is still quite powerful, and Rift Watcher cards are good, but there's only a couple of them that are truly meta. If the Rebellion cards introduce some new mechanics that are a must-have, and only a few people have them, I almost worry in the opposite sense that my play experience is going to go from, I hate all the people who have Untamed cards to, I hate all the people that bought Rebellion right away, right? And it's just going to make me despise it just from the other side now. I will buy my account in Wild, says Alex. Will not get Rebellion. Try to stack SPS. Use my 5 plots of land. Very cool. All right, so DEC to close peg sooner. Anyone thinks? Rebellion presale coming. Yeah, Rebellion will do more for DEC than land will, in my opinion. I've been saying that. No matter what order they go in, I still think Rebellion does way more. They made their own coin, so F them. Well, I wouldn't have to go that far. I want to get to 100k SPS now. GFI says if they restructure tournaments, there would probably be enough extra for another reward pool for mini games. That'd be fun. Well, here's the thing. You could create a game without having any support from the DAO. Right? Like I know there was that controversial kind of dramatic proposal a while back to like make a game on Roblox or something. I mean, I'm not saying you have to make the game on Roblox, but you don't need to go to the DAO. I mean, again, if you're going to go to the DAO, you need a solid business plan and you need to show that, there's enough interest or whatever. But I almost think that you could get away. Sorry, I'm harping on this because I'm really passionate about it right now, if you can't tell. But I think that there's a way, if you needed to generate revenue, then make do something similar like what Golem Overlord did, where there's like a buy-in fee, right? You pay like 10 Hive or something like that, or 20 Hive, whatever the cost is. And that helps to cover initial costs as you get the game ramped up. And again, I'm talking something as simple as like Flappy Furious Chicken, but then you can go in and play as much as you want. Again, it kind of sucks that you'll have to pay a DEC every time you play, but maybe you sell packs, right? Maybe you sell cards or NFTs individually. Again, now the scope is becoming much larger. And when I say cards or packs, what I'm talking about is like maybe you have like an avatar that you use in game. Maybe it's purely cosmetic. I don't know, but it's just something there that people can do and use in order to like play the game. I don't know. My mind's running wild with ideas right now. All right. So Alicia says, instead you do 1/3 virus, 1/3 burn, 1/3 split for leaderboard prizes. Yeah. I mean, again, if you want to be a value add to the ecosystem, you don't need to burn, but if you burn and start burning DEC, I think you'll get a lot more support behind it. Because then people will come in, and even if they don't want to play the game, they'll support and they'll be like, oh, dude, check out this little mini game that Virus created. Come on, Virus, you can do it. Is anyone interested in a Lamplock theme token for 110,000 DEC? You guys think that price is fair? Market price is about 120k. I'm not buying any more land right now, but maybe somebody here will respond to you. Max says GFI Gaming, agree 100%. Tournament's design is so bad. Tournament designs are over 2 years old at this point. They are well overdue for a revamp. Virus, poor you. Everyone's trying to use your skills without even asking you. Well, I don't know anybody else that's making a game. Alex Toro used to come by and he kept saying, oh, making a tower defense game is so easy. I'll be back in a couple of months with the made one. But I haven't seen him come back. So That seems good too. Rebellion. I'm just, you know what? I'm just trying to make Virus a very rich individual. I think he can make a ton of DEC and then go dump it on the market. Rebellion's gonna be a big flop. It's coming the worst times. SPL not only didn't have enough buyers, now more left with the latest news. Yeah, probably Fasidou, but if you're looking at how much it's going to sell versus Chaos Legion, yes, it's not going to sell nearly as much. But keep in mind that we and the team don't need it to do that. We just need it to be enough. And I think there's enough people still drinking the Kool-Aid that Matt is pouring that will go for it. Flappy Bird is easy to bot, though. Need to find a fair game. Oh, is it really? Ugh. All right. Well, I don't want games that you can bot. I'm just giving up on the game. Aggie leaving kind of did me in. Fair enough. CryptoZard is in the house. What's going on? Hey, so Alex, are you going over to the GLS side? Because I'm curious what's going to happen there now. L4 says minigame ideas, Monopoly style. Each placement you land will pop monster up to battle. The goal is last man standing wins. All right. See, look, there's a bunch of cool ideas here. We have a lot of creative people out there. How much do you think a Max Rebellion set will be? Care to take a guess? Oh, I think I remember somewhere they were saying like it's going to be 2,000. It's going to be 2,000 packs for Chaos Legion, or it was 2,000 packs for Chaos Legion in order to get a maxed regular foil set. So it's about $8,000. I wouldn't be surprised if it's in that range with like a 25% standard deviation, right? Somewhere between like $6,000 to $8,000 is where I can expect Rebellion to be. Virus says the Flappy Fish Chicken game I did was just play around with learning Unity. I was debating on putting on the site with a leaderboard and rewarding the high scores of the week with DEC. Oh, see, look, Virus, you were halfway there. You offered it to Chatter to replace spacebar swords during maintenance. That would have been fun. Keys, what's going on, Keys? How you been? Wow, I actually caught up with the chat for the most part. CryptoStar says Aggie leaving doesn't change much for me. BB Omega says good riddance. People feel very strongly. People really chose sides on this. Matt seems like he could maybe do better in our current situation, says CryptoZard. Chaos took 3,000 packs and selling gold to get max, not 2,000. Oh, okay. Well, I don't think you need to buy 2,000 packs. You'll be able to buy the cards off the secondary market. So I still go with my completely pulled out of my butt guess of $6,000 to $8,000. Who did it better, BitBoy or Aggie? Is Aggie trying to get his Lambo back? If you want to keep your goals, more like 3,500, but the set could be smaller. I think. Oh, okay. Guten Tag. What's happening, International Travel Channel? Good to see you here. Wow, we caught up with the chat. I guess that means the stream's done, because that's the little mini game that I played during the entire stream. Is as soon as I catch up to chat, then I can finally leave. You guys have no more questions, so it's time for me to go. Wow, I don't think I've looked at a different screen this entire stream. Is there anything else worth covering here? Gosh, look at that estimated value. It's just through the floor. Oh, even Rift Watchers is down too. All right, Steve says to reload it. There we go. All right, reload. Oh, we went up. 0.0138 to 139. Well, this is good to see. We've eaten through all of that end of season nonsense. And on top of that, where's the rich list at? So SPS DAO has 217 million DEC. So that puts us under 4.4 now, right? Yeah, look at that. 4.4 billion DEC actually out there in circulation, of which, let's actually go back for a second. Of which you have roughly like 800 million, a little more than 800 million in the bridges. Oh, wow. It's good to see SL Hive is down to 1.1. Man, we are going to feel a squeeze very soon. The thing is, I don't know, like we'll feel a squeeze, but will it be sustainable, right? Like there's so many people out there that are just going to trade this. I mean, it's such an easy trade. I think I even told you guys I'm doing it myself. Right? Like the moment as DEC gets close to peg, that's a 33% gain for me. You can bet I'm taking my profit. No, says NFT Gaming Collectibles. I don't know what you mean by that. No what? All right, so Steve says, yeah, that was to open the max set. If you buy it off the market, gotcha. Reload it, says Kolsker. Oh, it was Kolsker who said reload it, not Steve. Maybe you can save after sound joint tournament soon. Hey man, let's do it. Let's do it. I've been wanting to do more with tournament stuff. I just haven't had a chance. I will be able to do my Sunday tournaments again, but let's make it happen, man. Gregory Linfield says, I got a question. Non-SPL. How about them Bears? Oh, man. If the Bears are doing an A+ job of getting the number one pick next year, I don't know why they decided to go for it on 4th and whatever, but at this point, I really don't care. We blew a 28-7 lead. That's almost as bad as the Atlanta Falcons in the Super Bowl. All right, so not early. Let's play waiting game, and don't forget diversification is key. Cryptomancer said Rebellion is a similar size set to Chaos. Yeah, I've heard that as well. Pump and dump clearly on the horizon for when we see DEC close to peg. Yeah, I agree, but again, there might not be enough to pump and dump unless the whales on Binance and ETH have something to say about it. You said you were leaving. No. Okay, fine. I'll stick around for a little bit. We've only been live for an hour and 17 minutes. So I guess I usually put in like an hour and a half to 2 hours so we can stick around for a little bit longer. Oh, and you know what, guys? I don't have a Splinterlands TV stream tonight. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not celebrating that Splinterlands TV's done, but I am just happy that I have my Tuesday nights back. I really missed having my Tuesday nights off. One thing that I enjoy doing on Tuesdays is checking out cheap movies at AMC. So I haven't been in a while. I don't know if there's anything good out there, but maybe we'll go back to watching going out for a movie night on Tuesdays. 1.2 million packs sold would use up all liquid DEC. Yep. See, so Icy Flow, this is what I was trying to get at too. With Matt's projection, his very conservative projection of 2 million packs sold over the course of a year, that's 8 billion DEC. That's way more than enough. Now, the question then becomes is, are Matt's numbers wrong? Because remember, Matt is not infallible. He's made mistakes before, and I'm not trying to put him down for that. I'm just saying that he's going with 2 million as a very low estimate. But look at all the people here. Who here is buying 100 packs or more? Just out of curiosity, who is buying 100 packs or more? I know that there's several people in Mav Chat who said they're going to buy a couple thousand or whatever, but keep in mind that he's also reducing the incentives for people to buy more packs than they need. So maybe we don't hit 2 million. I don't know. Tough time to be a Chicago fan. Yeah, I mean, the only sport I really follow, or I guess team sport that I follow now is football. I don't know how the Bulls are doing. I used to watch the NBA religiously, and then in the 2010s when they just kept making god teams after god teams, like who was it? What's his name? Kevin Durant. Like he gets beaten by the Golden State Warriors, and the Golden State Warriors are like, "Come join us." It's like picking squads, right? I don't know. I just lost interest in the NBA after that. Plus, the Bulls haven't been like awesome. So the only thing I watch now are the Bears or NFL in general because I love fantasy football, and my fantasy football team is doing fantastic. Thank you for asking. That and UFC. I've become a huge UFC fan over the last couple of years. All right, so Steve says, yeah, but you got to remember when we pay with DEC, the team then sells the DC back to us to get money. Yes, this is a problem. And there's no immediate solution to it. CryptoZard, do you like basketball or just football? So I love the game of basketball. I would say throughout my high school, college, even post-college time, I would play like 3 hours a day, multiple days a week. I just love the game, and now all these injuries are catching up with me, which sucks. But I love the game of basketball. I love playing the game of basketball. I was a big NBA fan growing up, but I think part of the thing with I don't even want to say being an adult, but just being busier now is like one of the reasons I never got into baseball. One, it's way too boring for me, but there's also like 160 games. I cannot keep up with that, and I'm not going to be watching like 160 games. I think I felt the same way about basketball as I got older. I'm just like I'm not going to be watching like 80 something games per season. The NFL is much easier. It's on the same day every week. And there's only 16 or 17 games now. So it's just much easier for me to keep up with. So I love watching the NFL. I love playing fantasy football. I love playing basketball. Although I did play football in high school, which was fun, but injuries and all that. All right. So Steve says set helps peg, but not the same as DEC to Dow or burn. You know what's interesting about this in your last comment, Steve? I think back to, Chaos Legion and how they sold Chaos Legion for a 10% discount if you used SPS. So the team was sitting on a ton of SPS there. Did they sell it or did they not? Because again, and there's two scenarios here, none of which are like good or bad. It's not black or white. But if you look at it, it's like if they sold it, they started earning that revenue in October when SPS was at an all-time high. The smart thing that they should have done would have been to sell it, right? Just sell it, hold stables, pay your bills, do all the stuff that you need to do. But that could have contributed heavily to the downfall of SPS, going from $1 down to like 60 something cents within the next month. If they held on to it, well, then they'd be silly, just like the rest of us who held on to our SPS, right? And look at the value of it now. Down 99%. So the reason I bring that up is, okay, so now we have a different structure here, although it's the same problem. Instead of SPS, it's DEC. Sure, people can spend credits, and that's fine. That doesn't necessarily, that won't add as much downward pressure, or won't add any downward pressure, but the discount on DEC is too good right now. Like, I don't know why anybody would go pay $4 for a pack when they can pay $3. So if they end up getting that DEC, we're going to be fighting them with a lot of that sell pressure. So keep in mind, we're going to get, oh man, this sucks. Think about it this way, right? We're going to have 8 billion DEC worth of buy pressure at the low estimates, 2 million packs. 8 billion DEC worth of buy pressure over the next year. Half of that goes to the DAO, but then the team, in order to cover their expenses, if they're running completely lean and just breaking even, they're going to offset that with 4 billion DEC worth of sell pressure. I mean, it's still a net positive, but we all know that they're not going to be the only ones selling. Ola Art says, could we have competition on Discord where participants use DAL3 to generate, or DALI to generate AI cards? One card could be selected by the community to be a playable card. Man, I'm all for more community stuff. I think it'd be great. I see flow. The DAO gets the DEC. The DAO pays the team each month their share. Yeah, but then the team needs to convert that into fiat to pay salaries. I mean, I guess they could pay Nate and Farpatrod in DEC, but then, how are Nate and Farpatrod going to eat food and provide for their families? Level Up Life, man. What a great conversation last night you had. Glad I was able to tune in. Steve says the team still gets half they need to turn into cash unless we hear about a bit VC investment. I hope Matt is successful in that. All right. Alicios, I never buy packs, but Icy Flow is buying more than 100 packs. BB Omega is buying more than 100 packs. Nemeth is buying over 100 packs. Walking Keys is buying over 100 packs. Wibble is buying over 100 packs. So, 500 packs confirmed sale for Rebellion. I think we're going to be in a good spot, guys. Always cherry pick on the aftermarket and get only what I need. That's my plan this time around. I bought a lot of Chaos packs, and then when I realized I had bought a ton, but it only got me a silver level deck, I was like, oh, shoot, I should have done this the other way around. So now I have a playable deck, whereas I didn't have that going into the Chaos set. I was playing with starter cards all throughout 2021. So now I'm just going to go in, I'm going to live with whatever deck I have, and then slowly level up from there. Lonzo getting hurt really held up the Bulls. Yeah. The prices of Rebellion cards on the market will make packs necessary to buy. I think so, and I hope so. If there's a scarcity in cards on the market because people actually want them to play with because they're that good or that necessary, then they're just not going to be there. They're not going to be on the market, and people are going to go and buy packs. And the estimated value is going to be stupidly high in a way where people are just going to be like, oh, well, why not go buy packs? Could be a little bit of self-fulfilling prophecy there. Yeah, I only watched the last few games of basketball or big games. I love the playoffs. So cryptos are. I will say if the Bulls are in the playoffs, I do try to catch some of the games. I guess same with like the Cubs and White Sox, but I really don't like baseball. BB Mango, what did you play after sound? Real football or American football? American football. Although I did play a lot of real football. I don't know, when I was much younger, but I was just never really good at it. I say never, but I bought Tower Defense packs because they were both a TD and I wanted to play it, and holding these packs were generating SPS. So it was more than just a pack. I'm really curious to see what their airdrop system will be like. That could be fascinating. If I had to guess what their airdrop system would be like, because how are they going to track? If you're holding the packs, that counts as like an airdrop point. But how do they account for packs that were opened? Because people could like open a pack, but then potentially sell it, right? So maybe if it's like an overall count, like BCX count of your Rebellion cards in your collection. Well, that could be interesting. Every card that you own. Oh, whoa. Hold up, guys. Hold on. Mind blown here. Check this out. I don't know if this is what the design is, but imagine if they design it this way. Every pack gets you one airdrop point, and every BCX of a card gets you 0.2, right? Because there's 5 cards in each pack. What are people going to do? They're going to go out and clean up the floor. They would, if this had been the case for Chaos Legion, people would have bought incredible amounts of Hardy Stonefish for 5 cents a piece because that got them an airdrop point versus having to go and have an actual pack. Think about it. The floor on even the worst cards is going to be artificially held high for pretty much the entirety of the set's run. Now, what happens after the set is done, I don't know, right? But we're going to deal with that when it happens. I mean, there could be the floor could essentially fall out after that last airdrop. But think about it. People wouldn't be selling their packs because there would actually be a benefit to holding their packs. And then then people would clean up the floor on these cards. We could still end up with an oversupply of Rebellion cards, right? I don't want people to think that isn't necessarily going to be the case. We just wouldn't feel it until the end of 2024. Huh. All right. In my opinion, we have too many tokens. Oh, CryptoZard, I have some really, really bad news for you when the white paper for 2.0 comes out. Need to make it simple. The DAO grabbing half helps a lot. Just can't look at set sales as DEC leaving the system. Moves around. Fair enough. Yep. That is why land and buildings is what moves DEC out of the system. We just need to burn it more. All right. So CryptoZard in for 100 packs. All right. We're up to 600 packs. GFI Gaming going to buy 2,000. Wow. Kolsker. I will get close to 2,000, same as I got for Chaos. Oh, Stever's at 500. Okay, so fine. We're at like 4,000, 5,000 packs now. Congrats, guys. Wonder if SPL creates a new summoner with the ability Ancient Friend, where you stake one wild card on it. Oh, that would be really cool. That would be a really cool ability or summoner thing. Market dynamics might be different with the new airdrop rules and burn from day one. Agreed. There might be a lot less cards on the secondary market this time because of the new airdrop rules. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'll be slow buying packs. I have to sink 9K in to fix my truck, but I want a gold foil rebellion set. Awesome. Good luck with your truck. All right, so Level Up Life says, do I have this wrong? If someone buys rebellion cards, fiat or non, the team sends 50% of that sale in DEC, Splinter's own DEC, to the DAO. Basically, Splinterlands keeps 100% of the... Yeah, I mean, it's still going to be a 50-50 split no matter what. Whether people pay the DAO the DEC or they pay the team the $4, the team will send the 2,000 DEC on behalf to the DAO. So Supreme Victor says, I woke up and monitors full of pro MMA fighters. ChatGPT 4 is fun. It's hit or miss on it coding for you. I don't have ChatGPT 4. I only have the free version, but maybe I'll get the full version soon. BB Megan says, if they sell it, it doesn't count towards your airdrop points. Yeah, exactly. So you'd hold it. I don't know. I think the way that I was thinking about it is a possibility. I'm not saying it's going to happen. Oh my goodness, guys. Luthien is in the house. Luthien, how are you? We've missed you so much. I was actually messaging with Luthien yesterday, so I hope you're doing well. Glad to hear things are good on your end, Luthien, and it is such a pleasure to have you here. I know I've missed you, and the community's missed you as well. My guess is a snapshot of held assets in the game on X Day will decide your airdrop. This is going to lead to pump and dumps on the market, though, Steve. Or more like 5 points and a card. Pack 5 points and a card is 1 point. Yeah. So again, that's kind of the same thing I was going for. But they will then flood the market once the airdrop is over. Exactly. BB Omega is aiming for 1,000 packs. All right, cool. All right, so you got to level up. You got to get Level Up Life on your stream. I've never been more excited for Splinterlands after listening to him explain how Filipinos mine gold with robots out of their red sand dunes. One word, awesome. I had Level Up Life and I chatted a while back, and you're right. Long overdue. Level Up Life, I'm down to chat whenever you are here, your channel, wherever it is. I love the passion that you bring to the game. I love the fact that you're not a player because you think about the game very differently from a lot of the emotional players out there, including myself. So appreciate your perspective, my friend. Luthien, what an entrance. I know, and Luthien made it right before I was about to end the chat or end the stream. I'm just kidding. You know what? Do I have somewhere to be? Let's see. I guess I could hold off on this for a little bit. Hey, we can hang out for a little bit longer. Why not? Cool. All right, let's see. Should we finally go to a different page, or should I just refresh this page again and see where we're at? Refresh. Come on. 0.014. 0.014. DEC, you disappoint me. Well, vouchers went up slightly, I think. All right. Let me see. Luthien says, I've missed everyone. Icy Flow is asking, how is post Splinterlands life? Luthien, chill your business here. You're an unofficial sponsor for the channel. Let everybody know so they can support you in what you're doing. All right. Well, I think I might have some energy. So, yes, I do. So I'm gonna play a battle because I'm on a win streak. What is this in modern format? I did drop down to gold 1, or sorry, to gold 2. So it's been a struggle, but oh god, I hate this rule set. I'm really not a fan of like the magic only or this one only. Hold on, so someone messaging me. Oh, Elisios, what's going on? Sorry, hold on. Oh, whoa, you sent me a lot of stuff here. Oh, is this ChatGPT? All right, hold on. I'll read it. I'll read it a little bit later. That looks awesome. Oh my goodness, Baron is here too. Let's go. Glad to hear you guys are doing well. Genuinely happy for you. Oh, I think I need to put a team in, right? Almost forgot about that. Oh, all right. So Astral Entity is not worth maybe. Well, the dodge doesn't do anything. 57 mana is a lot. You know what? I'm going to go with Lux Vega. Let's go with you. I think speed is going to be of the utmost importance. Let's get the extra armor there. Queen of Crows. Let's go with you. Ooh. So do we go from extra speed now? Yeah, I guess that's not a bad idea. You know, I never play with this guy, Ra. Oh, and he's going to hit no matter what. So, yes. Yes. All right, so Dry Bone. Let's go Queen of Crows, Raven. I don't know if this is the right thing to do, but hopefully we'll get a win here so I can show you guys just how good I am. Oh my goodness, we are up against a Soulbound Summoner. Oh, Liza Fox, not a fan. I don't know. I think I can get this. I got the -1 headwinds there. We got speed. Damn, I went way later than he did. Okay, well. Yeah, I think we got this. Clutch. GG's. Cheers. 88. Let's see how we did. 5.6. Man, this is more than I was winning in Diamond before, but I'm sure Diamond is probably even better. 20% on win streak, 30% focus cards, 10% alpha promo. Cool. What's my focus? Buffs. Swiftness, Inspire. Oh, that was fantastic for that. Wait, I had Swiftness twice. I had Inspire and Protect. Oh, did it not count that twice? Because he has both. He has Inspire and Protect. That should have been 40%. Lame. All right. Ra's amazing. Ra is a beast, indeed. All right, guys. Well, I think we've talked ourselves to death on Splinterlands. If there's nothing else, then I'm probably going to go and grab some food, get started on the rest of my workday, see what else is going on. Maybe make some content later today. If I get some time, I should get some time. But yeah. Golem Overlord. There's some updates there I was reading through. I don't know. Is anybody here still playing Golem Overlord? Do you still want me to do Golem Overlord content? If not, it's all good. But yeah, Luthien, it was fantastic to chat with you for like 5 minutes. Sorry, you came in at I guess the end point of this. You're still top 56 in Go. Let's go. Let's freaking go. All right, guys. Well, I gotta say, I am feeling pretty good overall with where things are at. I don't know what the long-term kind of plan for Splinterlands is, but I am a little optimistic about the short term. I want to see what Matt can do over the next 3 months or 90 days, pretty much the end of the year. But so far, Rebellion seems like it is around the corner. Land seems like it is around the corner. God, that term has lost all meaning at this point in time. And ultimately, I'm excited to see what can be done once we are able to get both of those shipped. And my hope is that, Matt is much more conservative, even with timelines. So if he's saying by the end of the month, we might get both by the end of the month. We'll see what happens. All right. Carlo's also going to buy 100 packs. Awesome. All right, guys, have an amazing rest of your day. I will not be live on Splinterlands TV tonight because there's no more Splinterlands TV. But I will tell you this: I've been wanting to stream more other things on Twitch. So if you're not already following me on Twitch, feel free to go there. It's just This Is Aftersound. I might do some fun Web 2 DGen stuff like Fortnite or I don't know. I've been itching to play some other games, and I might just use the time now to do that on Twitch. So if you want to say hi, I think I'll have some time there if I don't get myself out this evening. But if not, I'll see you all on Thursday. Peace.